Have you ever achieved something you worked really hard for? So you got that job, relationship, the money, the life you thought you wanted, and then a few weeks later thought, is that it? Because that feeling, that quiet sense that something is still missing, even when everything looks fine on paper, that's not something to ignore. That feeling might be the most important thing about you. I hit my dream salary, I drove a Bentley, I traveled the world, and one night I was alone in my flat after the best trip of my life, and I felt emptier than I had ever felt. I thought success would fix me, it did not. I want to share something with you that completely changed how I understand that feeling, and it comes from a guy who lived 3,000 years ago who had way more money and way more success and way more pleasure than either of us will ever have. Because what he discovered and what I discovered is that emptiness was not broken, the emptiness was actually working exactly as it was supposed to. It's so easy to assume that solutions to feeling empty is to achieve more, experience more, or find the right relationship. We think the problem is that we have not found the right thing yet. But what if the emptiness isn't a sign that you have found the right thing? What if it's a sign that you were made for something nothing can give you? There is a book in the Bible called Ecclesiastes. It's written by a king named Solomon, and this guy had everything. We're talking about the richest, the wisest, most powerful man of his time. He had palaces, gardens, vineyards, servants, treasures, women, entertainment, everything he wanted. And he ran an experiment. He said, I'm going to try everything life has to offer and see if any of it actually satisfies. Listen to what he wrote. I denied myself nothing my eyes desired. I refused my heart no pleasure. Yet when I surveyed all that my hands had done and what I had toiled to achieve, everything was meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Nothing was gained under the sun. And this is Ecclesiastes 2:10-11. 3,000 years ago, a man who had more than you and I will ever have come to the exact same conclusion. It does not work. What if that restless feeling is not something to meditate or distract yourself from? What if it's actually the most honest part of you, the part that knows there is more? So we treat that feeling like a problem, like something to fix with therapy or travel or relationships or hustle. But what if it's a signal? What if it's pointing towards something you were not supposed to find on your own? Solomon uses this phrase over and over again, under the sun. Everything is meaningless under the sun. What does that mean? He's describing life lived horizontally, just this world, just this life, just what you can see and touch and achieve. And he is saying if that is all there is, then nothing satisfies, nothing lasts, and nothing means anything. He says in Ecclesiastes 1:14, I have seen all the things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Think about hunger. Hunger is uncomfortable, but it's not a malfunction. It is your body telling you that you need food. Thirst tells you need water. What if that spiritual restlessness, that sense that there has to be more, is your soul telling you it needs something too? The problem is not hunger. The problem is trying to satisfy it with things that were never meant to fill it. Solomon tries everything under the sun. None of it worked because the answer is not under the sun. So instead of running from that feeling or trying to drown it out, what if you lean into it? What if you said, okay, this feeling is real. What is it actually pointing towards? I spent years trying to outrun that feeling. More money, more travel, more achievements. None of it worked. Then one night in a Sainsbury's car park, I stopped running. I gave up, and that was when everything changed. I remember the week after Bermuda, first class lounges, beautiful weather, great company. I came home. The silence in my flat felt louder than it ever had. I thought something was wrong with me. Why am I being so ungrateful? But then I read Solomon's words and I realized this is not just me. The wisest, richest man who ever lived felt the exact same thing. And here is the crucial part. Solomon does not end in despair. At the end of his experiment, he writes, apart from God, who can eat or who can have enjoyment? The answer was not more. The answer was not under the sun. The answer was above it. The answer was admitting I could not fill the hole myself and asking if there's something or someone who could. I will share more about that night in another video, But here is what I want you to know right now. The emptiness you feel, Solomon felt it. I felt it. And it led both of us to the same place. You do not have to make any decisions right now. You do not have to believe anything. But I want to invite you to do one thing. Stop dismissing that feeling. Pay attention to it, because it might be the most important invitation you have ever received. So here's what I've learned, and what Solomon learned 3,000 years before me. The things that were supposed to make us happy taught us what happiness was not. The emptiness was not our enemy, it was the compass that led us home. Now you might be thinking, okay, maybe there is something more, but God? Because if you're anything like I was, you have a picture of God in your head that you want nothing to do with. The next video is about that picture and why it might be completely wrong, so make sure you tune in.